Let's discuss Surangama Sutra a little bit. Apart from movement and stillness, obstruction and openness, closing and clearing, one would say that hearing has no nature of its own. It's like a person in deep sleep, sleeping soundly on a bed and pillow. While this person is asleep, someone in the household is pounding cloth and husking rice. In the dream, the person hears the sounds of pounding and husking, but mistakes them for something else, perhaps the beating of a drum or the striking of a bell. While dreaming, this person even wonders why the bell makes the sound of wood and stone. Suddenly waking up, the person immediately realizes it sounded the sound of a pestle. The person tells the family, "While I was dreaming just now, I mistook the sound of pounding for the sound of a drum." Ananda, while this person was dreaming, did they remember stillness and movement, opening and closing, openness and obstruction? Although the body was asleep, the nature of hearing was not dim. Even if your body dissolves and the light of life passes away, how could this nature be extinguished along with you? Because sentient beings since beginningless time have followed forms and sounds and have been carried along by their thoughts. They have never awakened to the pure, wondrous, and eternal nature. Instead of following what is constant, they chase after all that is subject to arising and ceasing. Because of this, life after life, they drift in defilement and continue to transmigrate. If one abandons arising and ceasing and abides in the true constant, the constant light will appear before one. The good sense objects, conscious and mind will immediately fall away. The appearances of thought are dust, the emotion of consciousness are defilement. When both are completely left behind, your Dharma eye will immediately become clear and bright. How could then you not attain the unsurpassed awakened knowledge? Sakyamuni Buddha was giving an analogy. Movement and stillness would produce sound. Obstruction and openness, that's for the breathing. Darkness and light, that's for the eyes. If it's dark, you cannot see anything. When there's light, you can see anything. When there's movement and stillness, you can hear sound. Obstruction and openness, that's for the nose. Apart from those, Sakyamuni Buddha used another analogy. Someone is in deep sleep, sleeping soundly on a bed. While this person is asleep, someone in the household is pounding rice. They don't use washing machine, they use a pounder to pound the clothes. Hearing that sound in the dream, he thought someone was beating the drum or striking a bell. So the pounding was mistaken as the drum. He could still hear even when you're sleeping. That shows that your hearing nature still exists. Just put an alarm clock. When the alarm keeps ringing, then you would wake up. So you still have the hearing nature. Otherwise, without it, how can you hear the alarm? Sakyamuni Buddha giving analogy that when you're asleep, someone is pounding rice and you think that it is beating the drum. Let me tell you, when I had leg and back pain, when it was really bad, that night when I had a dream, the eye in the dream also had back pain. So whatever you mull over in the daytime, at night you would have the same dream. Oh, such a pain. I had to crawl into bed. I had to have the right posture to alleviate the pain, and then eventually I fell asleep. But in the dreams, that person, that you in the dreams also had the back pain. So the pain feeling was brought into the dreams. The you in the dreams was still suffering from the pain. Such things happen. Although you're dreaming, you still wake up hearing the alarm. That shows that the hearing nature is still there. Don't think after you fall asleep you don't know about anything. But actually, the hearing nature, or the touching nature, the smelling awareness, the tactile awareness are still there. The six roots are still functioning, although they're less. So that's why they are misperception. So the sound of the pounding rice becomes the beating of a drum. Then when he suddenly woke up, that was the sound of pounding rice. And he said, when I was dreaming, I mistook the sound of pounding for the sound of a drum. Ananda, while this person was dreaming, did they remember the stillness, movement, opening and closing, openness and obstruction? How could he know about the sound due to stillness and movement? The body was asleep, but the nature of hearing was still there, although he misperceived and misunderstood. This showed that the wondrous luminous true mind is ever present. It's just that the sound sometimes is there, sometimes it's not there. But the wondrous luminous true mind is always there. If Ananda, one day you die, although you have died, so the same. The wondrous luminous true mind, the Buddha nature, is still there. That's the analogy. So even if one day you die, your wondrous luminous true mind and Buddha nature is still there. All sentient beings since beginningless time, lifetime after lifetime in samsara, transmigration, let me tell you, everyone is dreaming. The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind, and sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and mental objects. You just live by those six roots, six dust, six consciousnesses. Everyone is the same. And they continually follow their thoughts, cycling endlessly due to the six dust, six roots, and six consciousnesses, the 18 sense fields, continually cycling in samsara, life being a birth and death, and birth and death, and another birth and another death. So from youth to old age, for a moment love, for a moment hatred, for a moment love, for you're happy today, sad tomorrow, a little bit happier, and then a little bit sadder, and back and forth and back and forth. Oh, that's how you live your life. You have no money today, you have some money tomorrow, or you're slandered or scolded today and you feel really bad. What are you feeling bad about? It will pass. The slanders will pass. They will not last forever, right? Are they tired of talking? Their mouth will rot eventually. So why are you afraid of them? There's so many people scolding others on the internet, rebuking others, the master told me. On the internet, people slanders you really badly in Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, and they gang up together. Really bad, really severe. But hey, I don't know anything. I never get on the internet. I never heard it. I never read it, so I did not know. It's good that I did not know. If you knew, you would be sad. You would be upset and angry. But you don't know. Those Malaysian, Singaporean, Taiwanese all scolded you, slandered you. And then eventually some created something to rebuke them, created websites to fight those three people. And the first one, I don't know where he's gone, maybe bankrupt. The second one is dead. The third one lost his mind. I think the third one has gone crazy in a psychiatric hospital. Three defamers, very horrible. One died, one lost his mind, and one disappeared. Think about those. I did not know. So I did not know how they slandered me, but those who saw were disturbed by them, but just ignore them. That's how human life is. How can it be not like this? Those with even with the highest position, those with fame would be reprimanded. I'm not the highest, but I'm the highest into the school. Don't be the first in anything. The second is best. Then you're free of troubles, free of stress and pressures. If there are any problems, it's the business of the first one. The second one, just follow the first one. You have nothing to worry about. I don't want to be anything. Don't be anything. Just okay. This way, just carry it along. That's rebirth cycle, transmigration, samsara. So the six roots, six consciousnesses mean rebirth cycle. Because of this life after life, they drift in defilement and continue to transmigrate. If one abandons arising and ceasing, you just abandon all the arising and ceasing bad things, including the body, the houses, the cars, whether you have money or not, they're all arising and ceasing. Youthfulness is also arising and ceasing. In the past, the golden horse lady was very beautiful, but now she's an old bodhisattva. She has changed. The beautiful lady that I chased after, I rode my bike from Kaohsiung to Pingtung. She just graduated from the teacher's college, youthful and beautiful. I fell in love to her in elementary school. In the 6th grade, I fell in love to my mentor, resident teacher. Let's not talk about the glorious past. Although it's crazy, it's still very sweet memories. It's just very insane. That's birth and death, rebirth cycle, and confusion, delusion, and inversion. But the Pingtung disciples searched for her and found her. She's older than the old Bodhisattva. She's about 8 years or 10 years older than I am. They took the photo of her and her husband. They burst my nice image. Everything changes, arising and ceasing, then death and gone. Very soon. I'm old too. I was in 6th grade. I was like Kang Kang, the son of Harry and Yi Xian. Tiny. That's arising and ceasing. If you abandon the arising, ceasing, and transmigration, and abide in the true constant light will appear. The wondrous luminous true mind will appear before you. The appearances of thoughts are dust. Your 6 roots, 6 dust, and 6 consciousness will disappear. Everything will be cleansed. The sense roots, the sense objects, and consciousness, and the mind will immediately fall away. The appearance of thoughts are dust. The emotions of consciousness are defilement. When both are completely left behind, your Dharma eye will immediately become clear and bright. There are different kinds of eyes: physical eyes, divine eyes, Dharma eyes, wisdom eyes, and Buddha eyes. So your Dharma eyes will immediately become clear and bright. Then you have attained the Anuttara Samak Sambodhi. What your eyes see, if you clear away all the dust that you see, all the 6 roots, 6 dust, 6 consciousness, then the bright light will appear. Every and all phenomena are momentary. Everything is momentary. You think you are alive, but actually you are in the dreams. Even now you are in the dream. The dreams you have at night are dreams inside the dream. If you understand Buddha Dharma, you would understand. My human life is just like a dream. The sound of slander, all those negative comments, those are just like the pounding of rice or the pounding of clothes being washed. Yamuni Buddha gave a good analogy to let you know that human life is basically a dream. I've told you, right? Isn't that a dream? When I chased after my elementary school teacher, her name is Yukui. I did not want to write her full name because I was afraid that she's still alive. But people still found her. I always use pseudonyms in my books. I don't dare to use real names. She could not think about that student that rode his bike to find me. But didn't you know that was a secret crush? She did not know because she was 10 years older than I am. That's the 6th grade. So I already had dates when I was in kindergarten. My classmate that sat next to me, Lian, and she drew a line like, you cannot let your hand cross over the line, but she did. She brought the powder puff. She powdered her own face and then puffed it on my face. And I said, oh, your hand cross over. So now my hand would cross over too. And then finally we held hands. Holding hands, we went to her house. And her family said, what? You have a boyfriend in kindergarten? We were on good terms. And the classmates all laugh at us. A pair of lovers in kindergarten holding hands. You know? That's incredible. And a few days later, she disappeared because her father was relocated to Taipei. I was planning to buy a ticket to go to Taipei in kindergarten, to buy a bus ticket to go to Taipei to find her. But she did not leave any address and there was no phone back then. Let me ask you, even if you find her in Taipei, and then what? And the problem is, I would have a ticket going but not coming back. Back then, there was really an inversion. Dating in kindergarten, wasn't that upside down? However, I had such a brain in kindergarten, so I must have matured fast. But now thinking back, all this are delusion and inversion, really. That's the cause of rebirth, transmigration, love, hatred. The only thing is you need to recognize your own oneness, luminous true mind. The 6 roots, 6 dust, and 6 consciousness are completely eliminated, which at such a time, your oneness, luminous true mind will appear. That's your original Buddha nature. In this way, you would be able to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, the unexcelled perfect enlightenment. If you're still tumbling in this 18 sense fields, then life after life after life, you would continually in the rebirth cycle endlessly. Therefore, to attain our hardship, you need to treat the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind as the 6 thieves who create karma for you inadvertently. You don't even know that they are actually already creating karma for you. Therefore, you have to be awakened anytime. There are 2 kinds. One, but this eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, when you know and you can stop them, that means you're awakened. What is enlightenment? You know the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind are all false, and the true one is the oneness, luminous true mind. Then you are enlightened. And when you abandon the fake ones and just retain the true one, that would be a true enlightenment. If you know they create karma, that's just awakening from your sleep. But the true enlightenment is that you know everything is fake or false. That is true enlightenment. Only the oneness, luminous true mind is true. But humans are always deluded and mistake the false ones to be true. So let's shout, "Bao Fu! Bao Fu!" That's fake. That's false. But shouting it still make you happy, right? Om Mani Padme Hum.